Hi everyone, my name is Oliver and welcome to our Candock channel. Today's tutorial is going to be about our LED light for Service Cube. This is our third generation of LED light and we've made a huge leap forward since Gen 2. The lights are more powerful, they stick directly on the Service Cube and everything is controlled via an app. And to start off, let's go over the component of the system. We have a power supply of 320 watt that can feed up to 100 lights or 400 feet in line, whichever comes first. We also have small mounting brackets here that can be screwed right into the back of the control unit. So that means you can install this control unit on any solid surface. If you prefer to hide this box somewhere else, like inside a shed, for example, well, now you can do that. This version no longer uses a photocell. That means it doesn't need to detect daylight to turn on or off. Instead, everything is controlled via the app through a timer, but we'll get to that part later towards the end of this video. Inside the box, we're going to find 3 additional circuits. But we recommend to use only the circuit number 1 here, which is already out of the box. But you could, if you wanted, to run an independent circuit away from the dock. For instance, if that control unit is in a shed and you also want to light up that shed, well, you could. But keep in mind that the limits remain of 100 lights or 400 feet, no matter how many circuits you're going to use. As for the light, this is pretty straightforward. We have round, waterproof, 1.5 watt and 36 volt light that will cover the whole RGB spectrum. And on the back, there's a double-sided tape that will glue straight to the Service Cube. Each light is individual and it has a 24-inch cable here on both sides. So that way you can connect a light every 2 cubes if you want. Or if you want to have a light every single cube, you can do that too. These are male and female 3-pin connectors that can only go one way. And on top of each connector, you're going to find an arrow that you just need to align. And this is going to make sure that you are the right way. We offer 2 options for connectors. We have this 10-foot extension cord and also a Y splitter. This extension is really handy if you want to connect this control unit to the first light of the dock. Then you might want to use one or a couple of them just to run a line under the gangway. In the case you want to connect 2 lights together that are more than 2 cubes apart, then you're also going to need an extension in between each lights. And we have the Y connector, which is a really great option if you want your light strip to split into sections. Keep in mind that the app will see that as a single line, so it will be carrying over the same signal on both sides. So you will not be able to put like a left side to be red or the other side to be blue. It's just going to be the same color on both sides. This LED light system was released in 2026, so it's fully compatible with our new version of Service Cube for 2026. We've changed here the spacing for the light to go and sit perfectly in here. But if you have the older version of Service Cube, you will simply need to add this little conversion kit that we have. It's a little plastic puck that you can glue here on the light. In the box, there's also a double-sided tape that you can glue here. And that will allow you to put the light in the previous version of the Service Cube. Same thing with the tile. We have the newer version and we have the previous generation here. So if you want to upgrade your LED light system to the generation 3, and you have this tile here with the center pattern embossed here, this will not fit with the light as it will enter in direct contact with the light. So you will need to change this tile for the new one. That one is much more flat and sturdier, so it's a big improvement here. Now that we've seen all the components, let's see how to install the lights, and then we'll wrap things up with the app configuration. So here we have a center row of Service Cubes. The first thing we're going to need to do is to remove the tiles, then put them on the side so we can have access to the Service Cube to put the light. I recommend using smaller section like that, 3 or 4 tiles at a time, rather than doing the whole dock, because it's going to feel really unstable if you take bigger section than that. So once we're going to be done with the 4 tiles, we're going to put them back, and then we're going to move to the next section after that. So let's begin by removing the tiles. For this step, I would suggest to connect the light to the control unit. This will give us a visual confirmation that every light is working great. And for this tutorial, I'm not going to glue the lights right onto the service cube, but that will be the part to do it. So make sure that this is clean and dry. Then we peel off this paper here in the back. We put it here and then we push on it for 5 to 10 seconds just to make sure we have a strong bond. Once we have 2 or 3 lights installed like that, we go ahead and place back the tiles before we move on to the next section. For winter storage, this is almost going to be the same process. We need to remove one tile to have access to a connector like that, unplug it, and then this is going to be one specific spot where we need to disconnect the dock. So now the last thing that we need to do is to set up the app on your phone and go to their Google Play Store or App Store and look for an app called My Home Lighting, and it should look something like that. Once installed, create an account. You'll need to enter your mobile phone number to receive a verification code and complete your registration. Once logged in, you should see a screen that looks like this. Click on the plus icon on the top right corner. Make sure that the control unit is plugged into an outlet before the next step. On the Connect a Device page, click on the Bluetooth icon on the top right. Click on the unit, then click Connect. For the first time, you might see a pairing prompt like this. Just click Confirm, and then confirm a second time. If you have a firmware update pop-up, don't worry. Clicking Confirm won't launch the update right away. It's just letting you know that there's an update available. Once you are connected, you'll land on the home screen. This is where you can change the colors, adjust the brightness, and control all the other features. But because we had the firmware update pop-up, let's start with that. Click on the setting icon, then go to firmware update. And from here, just follow the on-screen instruction. It's very straightforward. Once it's done, we'll need to go back into the setting menu, and we need to adjust the IC type based on your electrical current. For example, in North America, we use 110 volts in 60 Hertz. So I will select the IC type 2905. This ensures that the light displays the correct colors. If you want to find what kind of IC type for your region or your current, it's all listed in our owner's manual. Just a quick note about firmware update is every time you're going to do it, the IC type is going to reset back to its default setting. So you need to go back to this menu again and change the IC type for your specific value. To set up a schedule, click on the timer icon in the bottom right corner, then click Timer and the plus icon at the bottom. In this page, you can configure different timer function. Select the day of the week you want your lights to turn on and off. You can also select the start and the end time. And don't forget to save your changes if you want your timer to apply to your lights. And the last feature I wanted to show you is the pattern. The possibilities are endless here, so feel free to have fun with it. You can create your own, you can edit them, or you can even share them with other users. If you want the same pattern as we had in our previous generation light, you can download it via the app. The pattern will change color every 10 seconds in a super slow transition. To get it, just tap on the pattern icon at the bottom, then click here to scan our QR code that can be found in our user manual or here in this video, and the app will instantly save the Candock pattern to your list. Just don't forget to add it to your favorite. So that brings us to the end of this tutorial, and I hope it helps you for the installation of your light system. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.